Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fantastic, and you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to be talking to your father later in the program, so that's always nice. We got Tuesdays with Charlie coming up. Today is Tuesday, April the 11th. I've got my quote for the day. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. I like that. I am the optimist. You are the pessimist.
No, I'm a realist.
Oh, is that what you are?
Realist knows you just got to push through till you get to the finish line.
Fake it till you make it.
That's right.
Well, Sir Winston Churchill said that, and I know you like that guy.
I do like Churchill.
Hey, Britain's clergy are arming themselves after a report that a number have been assaulted. So the Church of England has decided to give their clergy Taekwondo lessons.
Oh, that's cool.
Can you imagine sitting in church and seeing your priest, like, Taekwondo, knock
Not
somebody
going to
out?
do a whole lot for you if somebody comes in the front door with a gun. But
Well, you never know. They're arming them, too, it says. So they're, I think that's
they don't get to
interesting.
have guns in England.
Oh. Well, then the bad guys don't have guns either then, right?
Yeah, because
Is that
that's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. That's not how it works?
Not even a little.
I'm being told by our producers that's not how it works. I'm also being told that we don't have producers. Coming up, we've got a lot of special stuff going on today. That's coming up in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, April 11th. It's Barbershop Quartet Day. Heidi's favorite kind of music, by the way. No, it's not. Education and Sharing Day today. International Louie Day today. National Pet Day. National Teach Children to Save Day. We taught our daughter to save, and I know she's not doing that
She's not doing it right now.
No, she was doing that. She was doing so well when she
so
first started
well.
her job.
Yeah.
Submarine Day today. So I wonder if that's like the thing that goes underwater or the sandwich.
Both.
Or both? Okay. World Parkinson Disease Day. National Be Kind to Lawyers Day today. I bet a lawyer came up with that idea. National Library Workers Day and National Library Day. All of those things going on this Tuesday, the 11th day of April. Get out there and celebrate. Of all of those, is there one that you're going to celebrate today, Heidi?
Nah.
I'm going to celebrate National Pet Day. We got 2 puppies. I'm going to pet them. And I'm going to be nice to lawyers. But I'm always nice to lawyers.
John and Heidi.
How much do you pay for cable or satellite? Don't forget your DVR rental fees and online movie accounts. When you add it all up, many people are paying well over $100 a month. Some pay way more. What if you could cut that down to zero? There's a device that surfs the net to find shows and programs you like with no monthly fee. Many have already cut their cable or tossed out their dish. If you have internet and a TV, you're all set. Learn more about this awesome technology that can save you money every month at channelsurfertv.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 25% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. If your kid racked up a bunch of purchases on Amazon in the App Store without your permission between the year 2011 and 2016, the company might owe you some money. This is actually a pretty good story right here. The FTC and Amazon settled on a deal this last week where Amazon is going to pay about $70 million, and that's going to go in an account for parents whose children made in-app purchases without their consent. Because I guess this was like rampant. This was going on, and then finally somebody was going, okay, my 7-year-old is on my phone and buying all this stuff, and you guys are just letting them do it. Anyway, back to the story here. $70 million to parents whose children made in-app purchases without their consent. Part of an Amazon deal. It also drops the appeal against a court ruling that found if it hadn't done that they hadn't done enough to make sure parents were giving permission for purchases made in apps like many of their free premium games. So it's free, but if you want the premium stuff, then you start buying it. The FTC has already reached similar settlements with Apple and Google for failing to provide enough parental control over these kind of purchases. Thomas Paul, chief of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, said, "This case demonstrates what should be a bedrock principle for all companies. You must get customers' consent before you charge them." End quote.
Well, duh.
Amazon
That's
first
kinda common
launched.
sense.
Yeah. Amazon first launched their App Store, and they did not require passwords for the in-app purchases back then. It was a feature that many games that were designed for children probably should have had, they say now. On particularly extreme examples, like the Ice Age Village game, they offered a $99 in-app purchase.
Whoa.
So there were kids playing this game, and then they're like, hey, what would you think about doing this? And it was $99.99.
Whoa.
Kids were buying it. Anyway, the FTC says more details on their refund program are going to be announced soon. So if you have kids that were buying stuff through the Amazon App Store, that's probably good news for you. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Oregon police say an intoxicated man told police he was, quote, showing off, end quote, with his new Subaru when he crashed into a house. More accurately, the car went through a yard and hit a power pole and then crashed into the house. The driver was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. So I wonder what he was under the influence of, other than stupidity. He was showing off in his new car and crashed into a house. I mean, that does not sound like a good plan.
No.
So you don't want to show off and smash into a house. What are you doing over there?
No, I
Were
was
you
just
clipping your
thinking
nails
it
or
wasn't a
something?
good idea last time we talked about it either.
We didn't talk about this before.
Okay.
Are you serious? You think we did?
I know we did.
All right.
At least, I really think there's an issue with the internet because we were once a year maybe coming across the same stories.
Come on now. Anyway, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. No, that was the last one. What was this one? Oh, hey, kids, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs. See, I'm just confused.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Think you hate dealing with cell phones? Well, you can't hate them nearly as much as Avon. In Britain, Avon did an Avon calling promotion that backfired big time. They offered free mobile phones to anybody buying over $27 worth of their skin cream. They expected about 60,000 people. Instead, they got 750,000 people. And they were flooded with complaints because they didn't have enough phones. So that's not good. Now they're sending out vouchers good for a phone when the stock comes back in. An Avon spokesperson called it a, quote, learning experience for us, noting that they did say in the offer, subject to availability. Yeah, well, you throw that in there knowing that you don't have enough available. Maybe you should have stopped selling when you got to the 60,000 and said, okay, we're done. They just kept selling them, you know. So they got to 750,000 of these, and they're like, oh, hey, we ran out like 100,000, what would have been like 600,000 phones ago or whatever it would have been. Not too good at math on the fly. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. A man has celebrated his 105th birthday by becoming the oldest person in the world to ride a roller coaster. That sounds like fun.
That's cool.
Jack Reynolds said he was, quote, amazed by his first ride in 80 years. So he hasn't done this since he was 25.
Stud. That's
celebrated-
probably a bad idea, I would
Could have been.
think.
Celebrated this milestone on his birthday on the Twistosaurus attraction at North Yorkshire's Flamingo Land theme park. And then he was presented with the official framed Guinness World Record certificate. And then he fainted. No, he didn't really. I think that's really cool. 105 years old.
That's very cool, but
Yeah.
boy, I would be, if I was the people who own that theme park, I'd be very
I
nervous
wonder if
letting
they
him
put it
on
on
the roller coaster.
like on a slower version or anything.
I
think
don't
they did anything
know. That's
special?
scary.
Oh, it is kind of scary. Twistosaurus. What a fun name for a roller coaster. A new Yale study claims that drinking a glass of wine works out our brain more than anything else we consume. So Heidi's brain is so worked out. That's why you know about stories that I don't know about. I've never even read these
It's the
before.
wine.
You drink so much wine that you're psychic. That's exactly what it is. A coal mining museum in the heart of coal country is getting a little bit of flack right now because they're turning to solar power to save money for their community. So it's a coal museum that's powered by solar now. It's kind of interesting when you think about that. It's not powered by coal. Oreos launched a new limited edition flavor called Cookies and Cream. Do you think that sounds like a good thing?
No,
thought
I
that's
think they
what
should
Oreos
just leave
were.
Oreos alone.
But aren't Oreos already cookies and cream? Isn't that the whole point?
they're putting a cookies and cream filling, and then
Really?
the cream is not cream flavored.
Yeah,
like
no.
it doesn't taste like whipping cream. You know
It
what I
does-
mean? It's just cream.
Does the other flavor taste like whipping cream?
It's cookies and cream.
Okay, I didn't know that. Hey, a Writers Guild strike is looming. And there's a lot of folks right now in Hollywood and New York and Los Angeles and all over the place that are a little bit worried about this because if the writers don't get their way, they're going to walk on May 2nd. So May 2nd, sneaking right up here. We got like a month to go. Heidi's crossing her fingers over there
I'm just
saying,
wondering, are we sure this is current?
yeah, I'm
This
positive
is
it's
from
current.
last May?
No. Why? Would
Just
you
wondering.
I got this off the internet. Yeah. Would you leave me alone? Anyway, they say the biggest impact would be the late night talk shows, Kimmel, Fallon, all those guys.
Oh, who
Because they have
cares?
writers, and along with Heidi's favorite show, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Because she loves
Who
that show.
cares?
Oh, you don't love that show?
Well,
You used
hey.
to love it.
If it comes off the air, at least they'd finally have a good ending.
I think their writers went on strike 15 years ago. I used to love it.
They
used
do
to have
not know
such
how
great-
to end
And they'll have
sketches.
like a skit that's kind of funny, and then it's like the ending is awful. You're like, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't
absolutely loved the show in the 80s.
know. Will Ferrell was awesome too
And
in the 90s.
I loved it. And then it sucked for a long time. And then I loved it again when Will Ferrell came back on. And now it's just
I
gone
wish you would
worse
just come
and
out of your
worse
shell and let me know
worse.
how you feel today, Heidi. I'm serious. All right, listen to this question and you tell me. Heidi, would you rather have a male boss or a female boss?
Depends on my job.
Okay, but just say this job. Would you rather have a male boss or a female boss?
Well, I am the boss, so female.
Okay. Which do you prefer, folks? Shout it out loud really quick. Okay, now everybody's going to look like jerks. A survey from Gallup gives the edge to men. Listen to this. 32% said they'd rather have a male boss. 22% said they'd rather have a female boss. But if you add those up, that's only a little over half.
Yeah, so then everybody else, what? They don't know?
So 32 plus 22, what is that? 54%?
Yes.
So what happened to the other 46%?
They said undecided, which
Said
is what I said at first.
I
You said
don't-
I had to choose one.
I don't want to have a boss. No, you got to
I
say
will
one or the
say-
other.
That if you're a female, having a male boss is probably better.
Really?
Yes.
And why would you say that?
Because you can sweet talk them and convince them
Ah.
to do things that,
Gotcha.
that a female boss would never ever let you get away with.
Okay.
So
So you can call in like 5 times a month and say,
I'm
got some
having-
lady
I'm
issues.
having-
Oh, just
it's
that's-
female
stay,
issues.
Stay home. I'm good. I'm not going to call you on that at all. See ya. All right. Coming up, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
Imagine the sand between your toes and an ice-cold drink in your hand. Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
week-long event with 80s music from over a dozen awesome bands.
Plus, meet 80s icons from the movies like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and several others.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
The website is 80sinthesand.com.
Book your week-long 80s vacation right now at 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite thing we do each week. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Well, you know, it's Tuesday. How can you not be doing good?
Well, Tuesdays are always good.
Hey, okay, you ready?
I'm
Ready.
Yeah, what do you got?
Hey, did you know that the United States gets more oil from Canada and Mexico than the entire Middle East?
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And we just cut them puppies off.
There you go.
Well, that's good.
Just do that and stick with the stuff from North America.
You know Papa John's?
I've heard of them.
Okay, it's almost impossible to find out what all the ingredients are that Papa John uses in his pizza.
No kidding.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
You've had it. We've had
Have I?
Yeah, of course we have.
Must not have made a very lasting impression.
You were probably drinking that night, believe it or not. I know that is a shocker.
Got to wash it down to something.
That's right.
Let's see here. Oh, do you know they have a machine that catches chickens?
They do?
For what?
It's a mechanical chicken catcher. Catches 200 birds in 30 seconds.
200 birds in 30 seconds. Where does it catch them from?
Pulls it out of the, like the turkey, you know, the turkey sheds.
Yeah? What are the
Well, they got
chickens doing in
chicken
turkey
sheds.
sheds?
That's why they need to catch them.
You mean like
they're
in a
not
chi-
supposed to be in the turkey sheds?
Like in a chicken coop?
200 birds in 30 seconds, 800 birds an hour. And it says that by using this machine, there's less damage to the legs by 30% and the wings by 15%.
No kidding.
So you got to get yourself a mechanical chicken catching machine.
Okay.
They got real fast.
I don't think I'm going to steer clear of all of that. I'm sure it's not PETA approved.
What difference does it make if you hurt their legs? You don't eat chicken legs.
Hey, you do? What do you think a drumstick is?
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
What did you think that was?
I'm thinking of, but their upper legs, like their thighs. It's not like you're eating their little feet and stuff.
They do in some countries. They absolutely
Yes, they do. I think you can buy them in the grocery store.
Yeah. It's a delicacy.
Yeah.
Hey, then, I got one last thing here for you. Speaking of chicken,
Yeah?
did you know that Colonel Sanders was not a colonel?
Yeah, I did know that.
What a fake.
And Captain Crunch is not a captain. That's true. His stripes are wrong on his jacket. He's not a captain.
That's good
It's
to
a
know.
fraud.
And Dr. Johnny Fever wasn't a doctor. No.
I bet he was closer
My
to a doctor than
whole
Colonel
life
Sanders
has
was.
been a lie.
You ready for a question from us, Charlie?
Sure.
All right. How many taste buds does a catfish have?
How many taste buds?
Yeah, does a catfish have?
17.
No, 27,000 taste buds.
I didn't think they had taste
7,000.
buds.
27,000 taste buds. The internet doesn't lie. So apparently catfish like to taste things.
Do they have tongues?
Yeah, of course they do.
I've never thought about that before. Do fish have tongues?
Yeah.
I guess I've never cut one open, so I don't know. I never really thought about the fact there was a tongue in there.
I just know it because when I go fishing, I never catch any, and they just poke their head out and stick their tongue out at me, and they swim away.
Wow.
You know,
That may or may not
catfish, the
happen.
other, hey, spit that out. Get that off your tongue. Spit that out. Yeah. Tastes like, well, we can't say what it tastes like.
Chicken.
Well, what are they tasting? I mean, they clearly can't like the taste of worms.
Clearly
so-
they do. Or they wouldn't keep
Well,
eating
then
them.
their taste buds are not working properly.
Let's finish this conversation off the air.
Fried worms taste like bacon.
Otherwise,
really?
you'd be able to catch them with chicken feet.
Yeah, sure.
I wonder if you have to eat chicken feet with like those lobster claw crackers. Snap the bones.
Somewhere along the way, this program went awry. We're shortly after we called Charlie.
We don't want to make anybody mad, but there is people that eat chicken feet.
That's true. I know it is.
They dip
Absolutely.
them in butter?
Don't know what they dip them in.
Huh.
They're crunchy.
I bet they are.
And with that, we'll talk to you again next week, Charlie.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. That was the most awkward Tuesdays with Charlie we've ever had. Talking about all kinds of weird things. We learned a lot of stuff on this Tuesdays with Charlie edition. We do it every week. We reach out and call him on the phone for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstein did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Disney's Fantasia, the sorcerer's name is Yenside. You know what that means?
I have no clue.
It's the word Disney spelled backwards. I did not know that. Yeah, that's what it was. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
George Washington may have grown marijuana on his farm.
Okay.
They believe he did. And it says he promoted its growth. In the 1790s, the crop was grown mainly for industrial things like hemp and for soil stabilization. So that's why. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Mickey Mouse has a different name in Italy. You know what his name is there?
What?
Topolino. Topolino.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Movie detective Dirty Harry's badge number is 2211.
Interesting.
Don't know why we need to know that. And our final, maybe we have two more, maybe. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
83% of people hit by lightning are men. That's not
Yeah.
surprising to me at all.
Not at all.
Okay, now our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first person in the United States to have inside plumbing in their house was poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And it was in 1840 when he brought plumbing in his home. So there you go. Now you know a couple of fun facts on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of the same old 9-to-5 rat race? Sick of not controlling your financial destiny? We partner with a leading health company whose mission is to support you to build a home-based business and help others be healthier, drop excess pounds, and live longer, more rewarding lives. Best of all, everyone who joins after you is placed on your team. No bugging family or friends. Call 866-741-7242 for more information. Or if you'd like, text the word income to the same number, 866-741-7242. 866-741-7242.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Garage sale season is sneaking up, Heidi, and I have an expert organizer named Emil Barnes that has some suggestions for garage sale people. So if you're going to have garage sales, they say, set your date. Well, of course. And they say Saturday is usually the best. So you're telling me I don't just open my garage one day and say, let's just do it today. They say Saturday is the best day to have it, and they said advertise the time in advance, but don't put your phone number in there. Okay. And then they say make signs for a garage sale. Use brightly colored posters and large letters and put the word garage sale and the date and the time. It's almost like they're explaining this to people who don't even know what a garage sale is. Next, get your sale items together. Yeah, it's rather than just having people walk around your house, apparently. No kidding, Emil? Come on. Next one says, organize your items. Now, this does make a lot of sense. I've been to garage sales that are not very organized. We had a garage sale once. It wasn't organized at all. You remember that? Mm-hmm. That was not good. We were not ready. I mean, I'm sure when you listen to this program, you would be shocked to imagine that I was ill-prepared for anything. Okay, that doesn't shock you, but it was bad. But they say organize your items, display items in categories, put toys in one area, books in another, maybe have an extension cord available to show that electronic items actually work. That's a good plan. Next, set your prices. I think that's where we went wrong on ours.
We just opened the door and said, just
Make
make
an
us an offer.
How much you want for this thing? I don't know, give me $5. Give you $2. All right. My favorite thing about our garage sale is this is the dumbest thing ever that I remember. I'll never forget this, but I had an accordion that I got suckered into buying. They called me at a fundraising auction. They said, hey, we got an item with your name on it. So I went there, and it was an accordion, like mother of pearl, and said Johnny on it. And I got suckered into buying this stupid thing for way more than it was worth. I think I spent like $60 on it. So we put it on the garage sale, and I had it marked $20. And a little old man stole it from me. He told Heidi that he paid me, and I got up there. And there was a lady at the garage sale that was so mad she was going to chase him down because she wanted it. Because he said, 20, I'll give you $10 for it. I said, I'd kind of like to get 20. And the lady said, I'll give you 20 for it. He goes, okay, I'll give you 20. Do I pay you? Do I pay the lady up there? I said, you can pay her. And he walked right past Heidi and said, no, I paid the guy downstairs. That was bad.
It was no big deal. We never
ago.
touched it at
18
all.
years ago, and I still remember that. Anyway, if you're going to have a garage sale, come up with prices. And maybe
have security.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
How much do you pay for cable or satellite? Don't forget your DVR rental fees and online movie accounts. When you add it all up, many people are paying well over $100 a month. Some pay way more. What if you could cut that down to zero? There's a device that surfs the net to find shows and programs you like with no monthly fee. Many have already cut their cable or tossed out their dish. If you have internet and a TV, you're all set. Learn more about this awesome technology that can save you money every month at channelsurfertv.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 25% at channelsurfertv.com.
If you're looking for a bargain on jewelry and artwork and vehicles and electronics and other things, they're saying, don't look on eBay. And they're saying, don't look on Craigslist. They're saying, talk to the police. Apparently, there are people out there that buy a lot of these unclaimed items from police departments' evidence rooms.
Really? Don't they need it for evidence?
I think like when they're done with it. It says the first auction was held in January of 2001, and they've grown to where now they have items from more than 1,000 police departments, and it says it helps out the police departments because they get a piece of the action too, and they don't have to devote man hours to selling it themselves. And the website is called Property Room, so apparently that's what it is. But they apparently, I don't know, auction off stuff. I'm like, hey, I'd like to put a bid on that knife. Can you guys wipe the blood off it first? I don't think that's the kind of stuff they have on there. I hope not. I'm going to have to go look now. Have no idea. I probably shouldn't joke about that kind of thing because maybe that's exactly what it is. All right. Coming up, we've got a story from Fresno that's on the way.
John and Heidi.
All right. About a week ago in Fresno, California, they shared information on an unknown woman who's claiming to be a mermaid. So take a listen, Heidi. She goes by the name Joanna. Police say when they found her, her hair was wet and she was, quote, mostly naked. I'm assuming some seashells in certain places. I don't know. Anyway, she had been in the water. Investigators also noted that her toes are webbed on both feet. So maybe she is a mermaid. Maybe not. They're currently looking for her family. So if you are missing a young lady by the name of Joanna with webbed toes on both feet, she's in Fresno. And she's a mermaid, just so you know. So I wonder, why does she think she's a... Do you think she's just crazy, or do you think she's a mermaid?
I don't think she's a mermaid.
You don't think so? Okay.
No.
You don't believe in that sort of thing?
No.
I saw Splash.
All they would have to do is get her wet. If she was a mermaid, she'd get a...
She was in the water when they
then
found her.
where's her tail?
I don't know. She's got webbed toes.
So?
Maybe
mermaids don't have webbed toes.
Her mermaidiness has worn off. I have no idea. I don't know how it works. Never met a mermaid before. Never met a merman before either, so I don't know.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstein did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Summertime is like when people get married. So there's between Christmas and beginning of summer is when all these engagements happen. So there's a lot of engagements that have been going on. But, you know, when you're going to pop the big question and you want to save up and have some money for a ring, this might be an interesting way to come up with the money. Maybe not. It's not working so hot. 30-year-old William Oliver of Atlanta had a novel approach for financing his $15,000 engagement ring.
Whoa, $15,000?
Yeah. Oh, you know, you got to go with 10 times what you make in a year or something. I don't know.
You didn't like me at all.
What did I pay for yours? Like $80? I don't know. It was a long time ago. I have no clue how much it was. Anyway, he's working on raising the money the hard way. No, it's actually the easy way. He put up a GoFundMe page.
A GoFundMe page for an engagement ring?
Yeah. He said he was inspired to make a big show for the love of his girlfriend after she bought him 30 gifts for his 30th birthday. So why isn't he using his own money? He says crowdfunding is a chance to let everybody who loves us show it.
Oh my God.
That way, he can buy a ring and we can all be proud of it. Not everyone's real happy about this. Many on social media say this whole idea is ridiculous. And the Macon Telegraph, down in a neighborhood that he lives in there, points out that the average engagement ring in 2016 was only $6,163. And when I say only, that still sounds like a lot of money. His request is $15,000. So he's asking for, $15,000. That's what he's proposing anyway.
Not going to happen.
But it doesn't
look... So
look...
then if he makes them pay for the ring, do they still have to buy wedding gifts?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to work anyway. Despite him being, shamed in public and more than 12,000 people have shared this with friends on social media saying, hey, check this out. You should go and help this dude. And that was all since March 28th. His GoFundMe page so far, his $15,000 goal, he's only reached $600. So having been shared 12,000 times, you'd think if everybody just put in $1, he'd be doing way better. So a lot of people aren't putting in anything other than a lot of negative comments.
And how embarrassing for his fiance.
Oh man,
I would say
when
no.
He pops the question, she should say no.
I would say no. There's no way I would marry somebody like that.
No. All right. Good news. We have some good news on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, Heidi, and I think this is just kind of a cool story here. In July of 2006, so what would that be, 11 years ago? That's right, because 2017 now. So if my math is quick, somewhere in the neighborhood 11 years ago. Lieutenant Dan Miller.
Lieutenant Dan
of Lake County Fire Rescue in Florida got a call from a woman that said she was going to drop off a baby. Nearly 11 years later, it says right in the story. See, 11 years. I should have just looked ahead. Miller, who's now a chief, recently came face to face with the girl that he helped rescue for the first time after naming a fire truck in her honor. So they named a fire truck in the honor of this little baby girl. And then now she's 11, and he had a chance to meet this little girl. And he was the one that the lady was dropping off the baby somewhere and dropped the baby off at the fire department.
So he clearly didn't keep her and raise her. He must have dumped her off somewhere else.
I don't know that it's really up to him. It's not he goes, oh, you're going to drop off a kid. Finders keepers. I don't think that's how it works, Heidi.
Who would know? Well, she gave it to him.
That's not how it works, though.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
No, I don't.
And she gave it to him.
I watched the movie Big Daddy. I know how this works. Remember, Sonny got in trouble for that. So, and for those who've never seen the movie Big Daddy, I'm not going to recommend it. But anyway, Lieutenant Dan Miller, who's now Chief Dan Miller, like I said, really cool story where those two got to get together. And I think that's really kind of neat. So if you want to see the story, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. By the way, if you would like to submit a Dear John letter, you do it through that same page. We've got that coming up on Thursday. We do that every Thursday, and we still have room for your Dear John letter for this week. So if you've got a fun one to share it now. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening, and thanks for sharing all the fun stuff on our Facebook page, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.